All right, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm doing great. Nice, beautiful morning here in Memphis, and we're just kind of still, grabbing ourselves right now, still figuring things out with this coronavirus. But with all this going on right now, I hope everyone is safe right now and home with their families and enjoying time with each other. I'm sure we're doing that. So, but yeah, I wanted to come on this morning just to kind of talk about my guests that I'm going to bring on this morning with me to talk about everything from a basketball standpoint, life standpoint. This is really development 360. I had this idea about 3 years ago to really do a segment in my player development business about players and coaches that have gone full circle in terms of really going into this career, really excelling, and then now at a point now that our careers now where we're able to give back, really give back, and impact the next generation and teach people how we did what we did and how to do it more effectively. And my first guest is the guy that really was around when I first started, because he was in this same situation at the same time starting, and his business really flourished. His name is Ganon Baker. He's a world-renowned clinician. He's really impacted the basketball world from a player development standpoint, and he's one of the OGs, like myself in the game. And I'm gonna invite him in. I think we do it this way.
He needs to say something.
Anyway, can you say something, Gannon? Can you speak right now if you're live? That'd be great. Because the thing is, once you go live, once you speak, I can click on your button and I can add you in. But anyway, yeah, if you can just go right here, because sometimes we can be on at times, and some people we communicate with, sometimes they can have a few problems with it. I think he's speaking now.
That's Steph.
Hey, what's up, Steph? Hope everything's going well with you. I've been watching you. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, but it's been great to seeing your growth as well. Okay, go ahead. Give us a second. Yeah, I think Gannon should be joining us in a second, but I'm just looking at the people coming on. Yeah. Oh man, there we go.
Yeah.
What's up, G?
All right, man. Doing good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I think you flip your phone this way, because right now you go horizontal. Right now. Yeah, man.
It's good.
What's up?
Nothing much, man. Just, day to day, brother. I got 3 kids, man, that are 3, 6, and 10. So they're the bulk of my day. And then I love my wife, so I love spending time with her. And she's actually a coach, as you know. So I enjoy talking hoops.
Yeah.
And, a lot of structure, man. I got 2 words that I tell people that I do every day: gratitude and aptitude. Because as you know, you and I get to, run our own business and teach basketball for a living. So that's a blessing. And, we've been doing it over 20 years. I mean, we met back when you were coaching, I think, an ABA or CBA team in Wilmington.
Oh, no, further back than that. Further back.
It was further back than that?
Yeah, our first encounter was the summer of '92.
Oh, when I was at UNCW and we played pickup.
I came home from when I was at Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I was home for a month, and you guys were running pickup games, and I came out because Patrick Boykin at the time was in school with you, and he invited me out, and we met. As soon as we walked in the gym, you were in there working out and getting shots up. That's where we met, and we played every day. And then after that, that was it. We never talked to each other.
That's right.
And
that's right.
The next time I ran into you, you were driving the truck, the Shake and Bake.
Yeah.
You had the truck, and you came by the office, and I think you were just transitioning from Shake and Bake to Ganon Baker basketball, and it's amazing. We ran right into each other, and everything kind of took its form from there. I was at 2006, I think. Yeah. So
2006. That's when I moved to Wilmington from. I was living in Hampton,
Yeah.
But that's right. You probably dunked on me every day. So that's I
Yeah.
remember you could dunk from the foul line, man. It was crazy the hops you had, and you could face up and shoot the jumper. So you were the total package.
Yeah, it was a throwback. Really, today's throwback. You know, I was the first. You know, Draymond Green. You know, guys that could kind of
Yeah,
ball
you
trades.
were.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you were
you were.
talented, man. It was just a great time for the game in terms of our generation. We really expanded it. You know, the game in terms of from people talk about position as basketball today. You know, we were really doing that. You know, at that time from a
Yeah.
yeah, and but at the same time, you know, the game was just really growing. We had so many players that we could really attach ourselves to from a position standpoint. It really helped us. We got a chance to really see a blueprint of what type of player we could be, and also coaches as well. So because we had
Yeah.
the finest coaches in the business, involved at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Good
glad you
time.
came on, man. We needed to do this. I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time, just about basketball and what's going on with our game. And, I've seen you travel all over the world. You're doing a lot of work in China now. And, you're global now. And so there's a lot of nuggets out there. I'm sure you can, share with everyone, with myself and a lot of guys that are still, involved, even though we've been in this for a long time, just to continue to get better at it.
Yeah, well, fire away with what you want to know. And as I said, man, I just got a lot of gratitude and aptitude right now. Thankful
Yeah.
for what I've done and what I have now, because it could be a whole lot worse. And a lot of people are struggling, so I have it made. I got food, I got health, I got my home. I can still, work online. And this too shall pass. I mean, this will pass, and then, we'll ramp it back up again. As long as I got my health,
Yeah.
I'm unstoppable. So, and then aptitude, I enjoy doing things like this. My schedule now is crazy because I'm doing 2 or 3 of these a day.
Mm.
Plus I have my self-development time where I get myself ready, my mind, my body. I work out, and then I do homeschooling with my kids, or work around the house for my wife. So I'm more busy now than I've ever been when I'm home. So just fire away with what you want to talk about, man. And I got my experience and my
Yeah.
passion for people in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I can relate with you, man. I've been just as busy as well. It's been a different visit. Being physically in the gym now to now, doing things virtually. Uh,
Yeah.
that's been something that, I remember you talked about this, 4 or 5 years ago. We had a conversation. We were at the Skills Academy. You were talking about how we have to become better through the lens in terms of reaching people, and
Yeah.
because with the new technology coming, we're going to have opportunity to impact the world, which you've done already. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, just to jump into things, man. I just wanted to first talk about the state of player development. Like you and I both came along when player development was really taking its form. And I thought about, I was at the end of my career when I was really introduced to this. I
Yeah.
started doing this when I was a player overseas because
Right.
didn't have anything to do during the day. We would practice twice, and then I had this big gap in the middle of the day. And then I would find myself going to the gym just to get shots up, and kids were coming in. And
Yeah.
I would just, the kids were gravitating to me because they knew me. And then I would just start working with them and helping kids. All of a sudden, 5 turned into 10, 15 to 20. All of a sudden, the gym was filled. And, I think about you, and I thought about, this player development, where it is today. I always had this saying, players that play really have the ability to really develop. And when I look at today now, I just want to get your feedback on, where things are from a player development standpoint is now, and what your thoughts were.
You know what? I'm an optimist, and I think the good part of player development now is you got a lot of people available for you to work out with. So in essence, whether that coach is experienced or not, that's still a good thing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
think about it. Back in 2000, when I started my business, I had to sell my vision because people didn't understand basketball. At the time, I called myself a trainer, because that's what the public would understand. That's what they would relate to, because there was fitness trainers. There was quarterback trainers. There was the big boxing trainers. So the word trainer, people understand. You know, to understand a thing, you got to diagnose and label a thing. And that's why titles and names are so important. Just because you have a title doesn't make you great, but it's important. You know, it's a compass and it's an understanding. It's a connection to people. So the term trainer and player development coach wasn't popular, you know, as a private entity. Only high schools had them. Only colleges had them. Only NBA had them. It wasn't even the WNBA. But now, you know, my profession defends itself. I don't have to defend my profession. What I have to do is defend my competency, because there's you know, as a private entity, there's not a lot of respect. There's banter, there's inconsistency, there's ignorance. But the good thing is, like, you know, if you have a chance to go work out with a basketball coach, number one, you're gonna get exercise, and that's a good thing. You're not going to be by yourself. You're connecting with another human being. That's a good thing now, because when you're isolated, sometimes that can lead to darkness. I think when you and I grew up, we isolated ourselves and we created. You know, isolation can lead to creation. But it also can lead to agitation, because a lot of people that are depressed and a lot of people that are suicidal hold their feelings in. They can't connect and have people hear them. They need somebody to listen to. So the fact that you're with another person working out, whether it's a coach or a player, man, that's a good thing. Now the next step is, all right, are you working hard enough to where you exercise and you burn calories to the extent of you're getting a stamina workout? And then the third level of that is, are you doing things that are necessary to make you a better player in the game of basketball? Like, there's a lot of player development coaches working kids out, but they're not really making them better. Like, that's the negative and the criticism I have for our profession is, yes, it's a good thing because there's a lot of opportunities, and it's valued now by the NBA. If you see a lot of NBA player development coaches or a lot of NBA players, man, they follow and they connect with people in my industry. And when I was doing this in 2000, it was hard to connect to the NBA. Like, I was training Amari. I got a chance to train Tyson Chandler, you know, two examples. I go into their arenas, and I was, you know, verbally and body language, there was a little disrespect and standoffishness by the assistants, which is fine. Now it's like, you know, you got the Utah Jazz, the LA Lakers, Chicago Bulls, for example, staff following a lot of these NBA Instagram trainers. So that's changed, and I think that's a good thing. I think that there are many, many great player development coaches out there because they work hard at their craft. They love the game. They love the players. And those are three important things. If you love the game, you love the players, you work hard at your craft, you're going to be competent in your craft. You're going to have answers for their problems. You're going to have solutions, and you're going to get value out of that hour, that year, that month. So it's changed to that perspective with coaches. You know, with players, you just don't find many players working out on their own anymore. And the great ones that keep excelling at the game are the ones that are innovative and creative. Because a lot of these players can't think for themselves because they're puppets. They're puppets created by their coach, their player development coach or trainer, because all they do is they listen to them and then they do. They listen to them and then they do. They can't think for themselves because they're always waiting for the answer. So it's always like feeding a tiger. It's a zoo animal. You know, a zoo tiger is not as creative or aggressive or, you know, gritty as a wild tiger, because a wild tiger's got to go out and make decisions and figure it out sometimes on their own, where a zoo tiger, he knows he's getting fed by that trainer. And that's why I got out of the name trainer, because a trainer just puts players through drills. They get them repetition. A true coach coaches more than just the physical. A true coach coaches the mind, teaches the player how to make great decisions, you know, helps a player develop their creativeness and innovation. A true coach helps the player mentally become strong so the body will follow. A true coach teaches players how to play with teammates, how to respond to adversity, take punches, and keep on moving forward, so to speak. Teaches a player how to be a leader, teaches a player how to compete, helps a player compete. And then emotionally, right, a true coach coaches that emotional IQ. So I became a trainer, right, and then was true to my roots. I was like, you know what, I'm more than just a trainer. I've always coached holistically, right? And so I think now you see more player development coaches and great coaches teaching holistically and passing that skill set on as well. Great question, man.
Yeah, the thing is, yeah, I mean, I'm glad you answered that in detail because, I have my thoughts about it, just in a nutshell, just you made me think about so many things, but, I was going to segue into player development versus training. You kind of answered it already, but the main thing I was going to add too is that, when we came along, with the word player development, it meant, players that had experience and insight. And I think the thing you talked about was so important when it came to your experience and insight was really powerful when you work with a player, regardless of what level they're on, because you were talking and working with them with things that they had to do. They had to be effective per position that they played. And those things were really, that's what stands out with me. I try to work with a lot of guys today. I'm doing a lot of mentoring like you are now, and I try to help guys, work with players on things that are going to be, highlighted in the game more than anything.
Yeah.
Real oriented, I think it's really more effective what we call beginners and intermediate players because it gives them immediate opportunity to work on specifics. But once we get a player to a certain point from a fundamental standpoint, like you said, we have to really expand things now. Really put them in situations where they're actually feeling the situation where they can ask more questions. And we as player development coaches, now we can answer them. We can really give them the tools to now get in these situations and have a solution. I remember we used to say that all the time. We got in camps. We would say all the time, what's the solution? What's the solution? Yeah. The thing is, you got to give us more than one solution. You got to know 6 solutions. And the thing is, now it makes them talk. It makes them become more verbal. It challenges them. And the thing is, like you said, we really attack them mentally. It's more than the physical part. Now, it's a point of what we're doing on the floor to what now are you able to communicate what you're thinking. Therefore, now you're not just a robot anymore. Now, now it's, you have some accountability here. Now you have a voice, and especially in the process. And I think those things are important. I learned those things from you, being around you in the skills academies. I remember when we started those, and you're making me think back to all the coaches that were there and the players that were there. That I felt I used to look so forward to that every summer because it gave us a chance to do what Coach E used to say all the time: have big ears, small. Hey, I think he said, yeah, big ears, big eyes, and a small mouth. Even as a player development coach, because we got a chance to really learn a lot of nuggets and learn the other aspects of what we do as players and coaches, and we were really able to expand what we did, so we could go back and to our areas and be a much better coach and player development coach.
Yeah, and if there are any coaches out there listening, I want to give them some nuggets on how they can make the player go from a puppet to a player.
Yeah.
And so, of course, you have to manufacture things and make the player do things physical-wise to build those muscle memory, fast twitch muscle fibers, instincts, habits. So it might be, 15 cut, catch, shoot to the corner shots. It might be, 10 driving kicks, pop out shot. That might be, 2 minutes dribbling 2 balls. So so I call those, as a coach, you definitely got to have repetitional drills. Yeah. Where you're just repping that skill over and over. It might be a hard show on a side ball screen. Do it again, do it again, do it again. On the last one, pop out, shoot a 3. Like there's ways, off the subject, there's ways you can work on defensive positioning and rotational footwork in a workout and then get an offensive action. Like I do that a lot. I'll
Yeah.
have a kid close out on me, guard me, close out on me, guard me, close out on me, guard me, and then set me an on ball, and I'll come off and he'll pop a roll. But those are repetitional drills. Then, like you said, you got to make them think. And then when I teach, I did this with Terry Rozier. I was blessed myself and a guy named Cody Toppert, who's actually at the University of Memphis. I told you about him. We had a chance to train probably two best guards we've ever had at our NBA pre-draft. Always tried to get you down there, but it never worked out. Terry Rozier and Tyler Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Remember Tyler played at Miami, $56 million contract. I think he went to the Nets or maybe the Suns. Maybe the Suns. He's with the Suns now. Obviously Terry's with the Celtics and then went to the Hornets. But anyway, when we started to get like college ball screen is on the surface, but the NBA ball screen is much deeper and there's more angles. So when we started teaching them NBA pick and roll, we would ask them, hey, what are 3 ways the defense can guard you, and then what are your actions and how you're going to attack that? And then they would attack it, right? And then I'll say, all right, well, if you're not open now, what are your 3 looks? Does a quarter man lift? Do you have a weak side slot? Like, give me your 3 looks. Yeah. So before we did it physically, they had to tell us, here's my look, here's my look. What kind of pass you're going to use, pocket pass or hook pass? Well, coach, it depends on the defense. Correct. Like we would have a 30-second, 40-second, no more, because it's not a clinic. And a lot of these coaches out there train for the camera. Like they get out there and they say stuff or they do stuff so they can get good footage for their IG. I get that. Like if you're run your own business, there's a time and place for that. But the majority of your workout is you got to get the players to see what you see, to know it's called impartation.
Yeah.
As a coach, you're not always giving information, you're giving impartation where whatever you say goes in here and goes in here. And you get them to go to a place where they've never been to exceed your expectations. So, what you said is very important. You got to get these kids to not only do repetitional drills, but then give them the drills that they have to make a read. You got the rep drills, and then you got the read drills. Yeah. And when you teach the read drills, see what they know. Let them give you the answer, because if they're right, they're like, man, I'm a genius. I knew the answer. It's empowering. Yeah. If they're wrong, especially as an elite player, they're like, shit, man, I should know that. Yeah. And on some answers that Terry Rozier didn't know, because, again, he was a college athlete. I don't expect him to know everything about the NBA. It's my job, to study the NBA and then help him. He was pissed off that he didn't know that. So the next day he was like, yo, I'm gonna get some of these. So it was great because I didn't have to yell at him. I didn't have to get my motor up like you do some immature college and high school players. To really motivate an elite player, just expose to him what he don't know. Show him his kryptonite, and then he's gonna be Superman, and he's gonna try to, work on that imperfection.
Yeah, that's the one.
I know I'm preaching to the choir to you, but there's a lot of coaches, if they would use that technique, their connection and buy-in to that player would be a lot better. Because a lot of these guys, honestly, Kev, a lot of them are just glorified rebounders, man. They're glorified rebounders. Oh, that's my dog. That's my man. That's my Brody. You can be friendly. You can be friendly with those guys, and no question. And that's you're gonna help them out, but you're their coach, man. You're their coach. You don't go to the club with them. You can go out to eat with them, because there's a lot of teaching about life when you share a meal. But I don't know if being their friend or getting them to like you as a coach is a big priority. You got to get them to respect you, and you got to get them to learn from you, and then exceed. And then they create and exceed their expectations, and then eventually they don't need you. You know what I mean? They don't need you, but they refer to you because they always want to search and get better and grow. So that's the disappointing thing about some of these guys out there is that they leverage the popularity of the NBA trainer to make themselves more marketable from a business standpoint on social media, because you do get paid ad revenue.
But it's I remember over the years as we were coming along, a lot of these guys that are out today, they were at those academies, when we were there, doing all the teaching. But the one thing that we had and we still have today, you used to tell me all the time, you have to have the ability to demonstrate before you start talking. Because the thing is, when you're able to demo and really go through the execution of it, just like it would happen in a game, then explain it, it has more impact. And I think that's what's lost today when I say player development coaches versus trainers, because the player development guy, you really have the ability to execute those things. You stay in shape. You keep your skills sharp. You're able to go out there and do things like today. I can still go out there. I'm still 360. I'm still doing,
yes, you can. Yes, you can. You're a freak,
still
man.
doing all the things that. But the thing is that doesn't just happen. I have to really go out there every day, like you said before we came on. You take time out the day to work on your game, work on your body, work on all the things, because the things as players come in front of you, they see that body of work. They see the time you put in for yourself, so you can help them. And I think those things are important. Glorified rebounders. That's what we see today. A lot of guys that come along today, they rebound and then they call themselves player development coaches or pro trainers. That's the word, pro trainers. So, it's a tough thing. That's why we have to continue educating the public about what it really is, because a lot of parents call me, it's been happening for years. They say, well, what should I do? I'm like, well, you have to get in the gym with someone that really understands the when and why, and when to go to the next level with certain things, because sometimes a lot of these kids are being introduced to things from a basketball standpoint too early. And I think there's stages. When we start talking about intermediate, elite. Yeah. Those are some major separations. And I think there's certain things that kids should be working on, that elite players are doing. They're trying to do it when they're just intermediate stage. And I think we have to slow down and really teach people how to teach. And the thing is, you have to understand, everyone's bodies are different, especially we work with girls, we work with guys, and your body is going to dictate a lot of the things you should be doing at this time. Some kids are trying to explode out of certain pockets, and they're not ready to do that yet. We have to kind of take them back 4 steps and show them, well, here's A and B. Let's figure out these things right here. Let's really become great at that. Then let's go to the next level. So, you really, threw out some things like that made my mind move. I didn't want to, overtalk you, but the main thing was just, man, today we're really at a state right now where guys really need us, and girls. They really need your impartation on this stuff as well.
Yeah, and let's talk about what makes a great elite coach, player development coach, and that can be said for the same for a player. What makes a great elite player, and its core values. And I'm starting to see some good comments here. Brandon Packlin, one of our coaches in our program, he said, as a coach, you got to care about the player, right? And then elite, there's a lot of elite, verbiage being thrown around. So let's thank you, Brandon. Let's talk about that. And I want to give a shout out to Steph Wood. She's on here. She used to run my business for years. So good to hear from you, Steph. Elite coach, right? Elite coach. How do you become an elite player development coach? It has nothing to do with who you train. You can be an elite elementary school coach. You can be an elite JV high school coach. Doesn't matter. A lot of players have trained Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. Some players that I've been fortunate enough to get on the court with and grind with, but that doesn't make me elite. Here's what makes you elite. Number one, do you love yourself? Do you have passion for life? Do you love others? Right? Because coaching is relationships. And if you have passion, you're going to give it to others, and it's reciprocal. It's infectious. It's enthusiastic. If you care and show that verbally and with your body language and with your actions, a player can't deny that. The greatest power, Jesus said this, the greatest of these is love. And a lot of coaches might love the game, but damn if they show it. Then you got to show it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of players say they love the game, and they might, but you got to show it. You know, you can't be shy and great. You can be shy, nothing wrong with that, not illegal. You can be great, but you can't be both.
No.
Well, Kawhi Leonard's not shy. He's not shy. He's just silent. He don't talk a lot, but that dude is aggressive. Like his actions are not shy. So I'm not talking about rah-rah cheerleader, you know, flamboyant Patrick Beverly leader. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, Maya Moore, I've trained her a lot. Maya Moore is introverted, but she's not shy. It's just when she speaks, it's powerful. I mean, any female coaches out there, any female players at the sound of our voice, go study her story. You know, past, future, present, and current. Like right now, this is an unbelievable story that she has right now and how she's changing the world through basketball. So you got to have that love, man, that passion, that energy, that enthusiasm. Number two, you have to give information that's clear, that's correct, that's with charisma. You know what I mean? 3 C's. What you're speaking, you can't be wordy. You can't over talk. You got to be clear. Left side, left slot, catch, shoot, catch, go, catch, fake, go. Let's go. Like, and if you're speaking too fast, slow down. I got to do that a lot now because I got so much information, right? And I've been playing the game like you 30 years as a player and a coach. So a lot of what I teach is organic. I don't have to go off a script. I go out there and the game tells me what to do in that workout. The player tells me what to do. Yes, you do your homework. You watch your film, right? You look at the scouting report. You call up on people. You call the coach. You talk to the parent. You formulate your thoughts. You might write it down the day before, but when you're on that court, you know, it's not a Hollywood movie. It's not a cut, do it again. It's organic, man. It's got to be a flow. And the only way you do that is through experience. That's why you can, that's why, you know, OGs, I guess we're OGs. Well, I'm almost 50.
Yeah, we are now. I'm 40. I'll be 49 in a week.
Ah, dog, you dye your hair, man. You can't believe you got no gray hair, dog.
I know, but I haven't had a haircut in 3 weeks. I mean, so man, my hair it ain't been this long, man. Oh man, I hate looking at myself right now, but I'm trying to keep it edged up, and I'm doing what I got to do, man. So,
man, you look the same as you did 30 years ago.
But you just said something great, man, about an elite coach. You know, my experience is a lot like yours, except a little different. You know, I started in the private school sector coaching girls in the 7th grade. And then that moved to the AAU sector. I was coaching elite girls teams. And then I went into, then the player development really took form in the midst of that. Then all of a sudden now I'm coaching in the ABA and then the PBL. And then now, you know, I'm still doing player development. Now I'm doing that now in the NBA D League at that time. Now it's the G League. And then all of a sudden the G League, now we're going up to the big leagues. Now we're at the league at the highest level now, you know, and also touch the college level. So everywhere I've been able to take that player development experience at each level. And I worked with so many guys. And the one thing that you always talked about with coaching is that you have to have that ability to communicate, but you also have to show them that you care about their process.
Yeah.
That's the main thing that I learned through all of this. You know, you have to care about their process individually, and all those things you talked about are just so key, man. You know, when it comes to, you know, being a good coach. And I've worked with a number of great coaches over the years, you know, to help me grow as well, and especially throughout the, you know, the G League and all those experiences. So that was great, man. I mean, it was a good enough.
And Kev, let me finish my point. There was one person here wanted to finish the points about a great teacher, and I thank you for asking that, because you and I get excited, man. We go off on tangents, but to really what has helped me, again, you know, I'm not the best in the world, but I have been offered NBA coaching jobs. I still get interest from NBA coaching jobs. I get, you know, college coaching offers almost every year. I guess the most powerful evidence and proof of concept of my techniques is I've been doing something for 20 years, 48 countries, 5 continents. I got a set culture everywhere I go. I might be working out with a 10-year-old team from the Middle East, and then I'm doing pre-draft, or I might be in China working out, junior national teams, and then I'm, in Memphis doing a regular YMCA camp. So I've been able to generate a business for 20 years with these proven techniques, and so I swear by them. These are my non-negotiables, and as a coach, you have to have things that you are willing to fight for and not allow mediocrity to seep into your values. Everybody has non-negotiables, and you got to know them like your wife's birthday, hopefully, and your social security number, and your favorite food, and your favorite player. Like, these are instinctive in you. You live and die by these. And so, number one, again, we talked about passion, right? You got to love others. You got to love yourself. You have to show it in those workouts, right? It's passion. Number two, information. Your information has to be clear, right? You can't sound ignorant. You're a teacher. You're a professor. You're Jay-Z-ish, and then you're Bill Gates-ish. Like, sometimes you speak like Bill Gates, depending on the culture, right? The person, and then you vibe with them like Snoop. But either way, Eminem, both are geniuses. Taylor Swift, whatever. But your vocabulary has to be creative and flow. It's called creative connective conversation. Creative connective conversation. All the great coaches I've been around, somebody that you work for, D Brown, right? They say the same boring, ordinary things that these players have heard before, but they say it in a clever way. So you got to be, I call it being clear, clever. Number two, it's got to be correct, right? You got to study the game. What you're teaching that kid has to be correct. If his team don't want him to shoot mid-range pull-ups, then don't teach him mid-range pull-ups. That's wrong in that workout. It's right for you. It's right for another one, but it's wrong for that kid. Like Amari. Amari Stoudemire wanted to pick and pop for three, but, we wanted him to pick and roll, pick and pop mid-range. Of course, we gave him some desserts and let him, but, you got to know what you're teaching is correct. And then you got to have charisma, man. You can't be boring. You can't have low energy. You can't be out of shape. No. You have to have charisma. You have to have, your workouts are supposed to be also safe and fun. Your workouts got to be safe and fun. So that comes from your charisma. Nowadays, we play music at workouts. We give external rewards at workouts. And then the third one is correction. All right. The third part of an elite coach is correction. How do you correct a player when he's wrong? Number one, you tell him. All right. You can tell him. If the player responds to you, because, hey, this is huge now. And this is something that, you and me ain't scared. You and me, we played pickup on the streets. We fought our way up to play at a high level like you did, to be, a white dude growing up playing in the hood in the boys club. You got to have some fight in you, man. You can't be sensitive. You got to have some conflict revolution techniques right away. It's almost being like an FBI informant, man. You gotta find a way that people gonna trust you, and you gotta blend in, and somebody comes at you, you gotta come right back then. Basically, my dad said this: don't give no stuff, but don't take no stuff. And so this, training NBA players, even WNBA players, a lot of them will come at you. Oh yeah. And they'll test you, or they'll disagree with you. I've gotten this, excuse my language. They'll say, man, F you, Ganon. And it's not forget you, Ganon. It rhymes with suck. They'll say, F you, Ganon. What are you talking about? And I'm like, all right, well, if you're going to F me, then educate me. And like, what do you mean? Well, you don't like that drill. Tell me why it's wrong. Tell me why that's wrong. Well, it's not really wrong. It's just I'm not trying to do that. Okay, tell me why you're not trying to do it. You hired me to be your coach. I'm coaching you. Now you're putting up a wall. For some reason, your emotions are telling you, I ain't buying into that. So I can tell you why, but you tell me why. If it's good enough, you can F me. But if it's not good enough, no, you're gonna respect that. You're gonna listen to me. I'm educating you. Education is the quickest way out of poverty. Right now, you poor, man. And that's how I come at guys. not yelling, but like stick your chest out. Kevin Hart, like, yo, no, hold up. We can F me. If you're going to F me and you teach me, I'll apologize. You're right. F me. We won't do that. But if you're going to F me, you got to educate me. So my point is, as coaches, you got to have, you have the skill of responding. And then the greatest response is when a kid doesn't understand or is confused or doesn't want to do it, then you demonstrate. No, this is how you do it. Bam. And you do it at such a high, consistent level that, you know, the truth fears no, that's the truth. And the truth fears no question. They can't question you if you give them the truth. And then the highest level of correction is, hey, man, I'm going to go lace my shoes up. We're just going to go one-on-one. Because you're being lazy, you're being disrespectful, you're dishonoring me in this workout. When you dishonor something, you can't access it. So, you know what? I'm going to get something out of this workout. I'm just going to get my game on. So we're going to play. And I'm going to show you what it means to be a true player. I'm going to show you how soft, what a soft ass you are. And I've done that multiple times, multiple countries. And yeah, I would say 90% of the time, 99% of the time, you know, I got my point across. Right? The guy was tired. The girl was, you know, the girl felt me in this. You know, I energized her mind and body. They got the point, and then, you know. But again, every coach can't do that. So if you can't physically respond, you have to mentally, with your conversation, respond. And it's almost like a lawyer. You know, you gotta combat and have a good rebuttal. And it's not about, you know, showing them up. It's about finding a solution to the truth. You live in the truth sets you free. The truth fears no question. You want players to play the right way and be the best version of themselves. So that's probably the most important information we've given on this IG Live. I hope people were writing that down. Because when I learned that lesson, and I've had many great mentors, you know, John Lucas, Kevin Eastman, Mike Dunlap, a guy named Jerry Wainwright. From a distance, you know, I got a chance to meet and spend a little time with Hubie Brown, Rick Pitino, some of the best that ever done it. And, you know, when I learned that, my coaching game went up. Because as coaches, we have a toolbox. You know, Kobe had a toolbox. James Harden has a current toolbox. As coaches, we have toolboxes. And so that's why I do these things. I don't care how many hits we get. I've never been one to be into the marketing, social media. You know, I just want to drop value. And if I drop value to people, life is circular. You call it karma. You call it spiritually reaping what you sow. If I show love, God and Jesus and life are going to show love to me. So that's, you know, that's why I'm doing this, man. It's not, yeah, it's nice to share stories with you, Kev, and tell people what we've done. But, you know, true leaders and greatness is once you've received greatness and all the byproducts of greatness, then go pass it on. And go pass it on. And that's your legacy.
Yeah.
You know, if you've received a lot of love in your life, then go show love to somebody else. If you've received a lot of education in your life, then go, you know, teach somebody else, impart that on somebody else. If you've received a lot of finances and money blessings in your life, then go pass it on to somebody else. And if you do that, when the world is hell, like right now, I mean, we could talk about how bad it is. It's hell right now, but it doesn't affect your mind.
No,
it doesn't affect your body. It doesn't affect your spirit. You're going to be all right. And so, you know, same thing with coaching. If you have that same approach to your workouts and to your coaching toolbox, you're going to impact the world, man. You're going to impact the world.
Yeah, exactly. All this going on, you figure out another way. And that's the thing we always stress to our players all the time. Figure out another way. If you only know one way of doing this, you're not going to be successful. You know, I remember, you know, just real quick, I remember you made me think about Sean Williams. I remember when Sean was out of the game for a year, and I remember when his agent called me here when I just moved to Memphis. I was really getting settled, and, you know, he was trying to really get back in the flow of things. You know, he had some troubles, and then, you know, he's made his mind up, hey, I want to get back into this. So he walked in the gym with me, and I remember I had the clock set at 60 minutes. I had the entire gym mapped out per station what we're going to do in 60 minutes. I remember he walked in. He said, "What in the world is this?" And I looked at him. I said, I didn't even know him yet. I shook his hand. He said, "What's up, Kel?" I said, "What's up?" He said, "I'm here to work with you. You know, my agent told me to be." I said, "Look." He said, "What's all this stuff?" I said, "You'll find out in a few minutes. I need you to get over here. The clock's ready to start. We got 10 minutes to get loose. I'm gonna get your body warm, and we're gonna go through all these stations." And the thing is, he was like, "Wow, these stations. I just want to get shots up." I said, "Don't worry about it. We're gonna get those shots up, but we're gonna do it in a formation that gets you moving towards where you have to go." And the thing is, he had those same struggles you talked about. He was like, you know, F this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I just want to do this. And then I went out there and demonstrated those things and showed him, man, he was like, wow, I see what you're talking about. Then he was able to go through it. So that immediate, you know, resistance you're going to meet, especially with the elite guys. But at the same time, if you have the ability to demonstrate and also give the insight, they'll listen more. And then sometimes you got to play, like you said. You know, sometimes they have to kind of go through emotions, you know, at a different standpoint, playing against you. And yeah, it just makes them respect the game more. So yeah, I mean, that was good, man. And you know, you just got my mind. I'm thinking about so many things because you dropping so many nuggets, man. And you know, but I know time is short.
Yeah, I got an interview here.
I gotta get out.
Virtual clinic with NABC. Yeah. So I gotta.
Yeah, I'm glad we came on this morning. I'm sure we're gonna hook up again later, man. Hey, I want to thank you for, you know, this time, and I think a lot of people that are, you know, watching this, you know, they're going to be impacted by your voice and by the things that you imparted. And I just want to, you know, tell you, thank you for everything that you've done for me over the years in terms of helping me, you know, establish what I do, because I've learned a lot from you. And I just want to say, hey, keep it going, man. I'm still watching. I'm still learning.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's hard. You know what? You know this, and guys in this business, it's a hard business to maintain because of many things. You know, you got just the fact that came from, you know, Boo Williams. I went to Boo. I was like, Boo, I got this little business. I want to offer it to your program. You know, I played for you, your family. He's like, Ganon, I'll let you talk to my kids and parents, but man, they ain't gonna want to train with you. They don't do this stuff for free. They got a chance to do this for free, and they don't do it. So why are you crazy, Ganon? You're gonna scare them. And so, you know, just the fact that education is hard to sell in the United States unless it's free. You know, it's a hard thing for people to pay for education because they want that microwave success. Hey, I'm gonna pay you $200 for your training, but I want my baby girl to be ranked on ESPN. I want her to get a scholarship. I want her to score 25 points. And it's not a transaction, right? It's a transfer. It's a transformation. And I guarantee parents, I take you 200. I ain't turning down money. I'll take you 200. Here's what I guarantee, Miss Smith. I'm going to teach your baby girl how to win in basketball, and I'm going to teach her how to win in life. Like, that's my job. I don't care whether I'm coaching the San Antonio Spurs or I'm coaching the YMCA Thunderbucks. Okay? Mm-hmm. Our job, Kev, is we need to teach our two main jobs of a coach. Teach them how to win in basketball and teach them how to be a living trophy. Every day they win, so to speak, in life. And there you go. That's your compass. You follow that, everything you do will be valuable, from your marketing to your on-court to your interviews. So I'm dropping the mic on that. I'm out. Let's do this. When I'm in Memphis again, we'll get up, man. You said you owe me a barbecue. Yeah, you owe me barbecue.
All over the place, so it was really hard last time. But yeah, we'll get together for sure.
All right, man. You asked great questions, man. Iron sharpens iron. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'll see you in a little bit, man.
All right, brother. See you, man.
Out there now.
All right, brother.
Tell the family I said hello.
Will do. It's nasty. I don't even know if I can. I was supposed to do my clinic outside in the driveway, and go figure. It's nasty and windy, and yeah, we'll just have to do a PowerPoint. So
yeah, man, get in the garage, man. Hey, get in the garage, baby. Hey, like I did, I clear my garage out. You know, that's what you got to do sometimes.
That's a good idea. You're right. It's a good idea. All right, man. See you.
All right. Okay, now. All right, everybody. That was a great interview with Ganon. You know, we go way back, man. like I said, there was so much information that he dropped. I hope everyone was able to receive some of that information that we both talked about. I wanted him to really expound on a lot of things that, you know, I've experienced as a player development coach, and he was able to really amplify those things even more. So that was great. But at any rate, yeah, tune in next week. We're gonna, you know, have some other guests on. He was the first. We're gonna have a lot more on. I want to start talking to the guys I formerly coached over the years, to get their insight on things that they've learned, and, you know, where they started, where they've been, and where they're going at this point. And some of them have transitioned into other areas as well. So, like I said, you know, stay locked in. Everyone stay safe out there. All right, keep your hands clean, keep your face clean, take care of your bodies, and take care of yourself. And also, you know, just stay inside as much as possible. So, any rate, take care. See you in a little bit.
Page.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna press that now.